Forgot about this. Okay. I'm back from the dead. Hey. Hell yeah. Yes, it's been a while. I died there for a bit. Now I'm back. So I got some personal life updates. I got a new mic stand, like I think I talked about last time. And now I can sit back in my chair. So I'm no longer gonna be a victim of scoliosis. And it feels amazing already. I was testing it there the other day, actually. Alas, I did not have any time to record because I had to go to real work, real job. No fun recording. But I got a bit of a different idea for this video. So like, since I'm a little limited on when I can record, I think I'm gonna do shorter videos, mainly because the hour-long ones take a little too long for the time that I got to work with. So I figured I got the perfect idea for this video. So I figured for a little more entertainment while I build this hideous windmill, I'm gonna read out some Reddit stories that I found, or that I will be finding. But not the usual ones. I don't want to do the "Am I the asshole" type ones, because those are awesome. But I feel like I found a better thing. So I was actually scrolling Twitter there the other day. Where is it here? And I seen this one that kind of gave me the idea, or like tuned me into this subreddit. So this one I found the picture. I'm not sure who posted this, so sorry, who snagged this amazing image, but this one's pretty good. So this is posted on a subreddit called r/seduction, which is peak intellectuals giving advice on how to seduce men and women on Reddit, of all places. And this glorious user, this man or woman, I'm assuming it's a guy. So the title of this one was "How to Touch a Woman's Boobs." And then he goes on to explain that he's been working on this, I guess, quote unquote, pickup line, maybe, on how to touch breasts. So, when she starts out, he says, "So the line I came up with is, quote, I don't mean to be rude, and I certainly don't want to be creepy, but, bracket, gesture to bring my hands up, cupping them around the breast area, are amazing." Then after she blushes and says thanks, I follow up with, "I don't mean to be out of line, but it would it be okay if I could have a feel?" And then he asks, "So what do you think? Do we need to, what should I tweak to make it work?" This is 100% fake. This is not a real post. At least I don't believe it. However, this was the one I seen that made me think, man, I should go over some dating advice, because I was reading it at work and I'm like, wow, this is ridiculous. So while I scroll through that and look for some amazing ones, I'm gonna work on renovating these fucking sonic bombs outside my house, because I can't really think with these guys. Let's get to work, shall we? So obviously with the stories, I'm gonna try to give my own opinion on it, maybe. So with that being said, I'm kind of gonna set a little ground rule that we're gonna pretend that everything we read on these is someone being absolutely 100% honest, with no lies. As for the one about grabbing the breast, I just, not much of a hot take there. I don't think anyone will ever allow you to do that, even if they blush and say thank you, which... Those are my favorite, when they assume, like, after she blushes and then, just showers me with love and Vmos me $100. So this is a really nice and short one. He says, "What is the best career for game?" So he says, well, he answers it actually. He says, "In my opinion, pilot. Status, always traveling, working with beautiful flight attendees." Okay. So I'll read the replies to this one, actually. We'll see what, apparently, according to these people, are the best the best careers to be in to you know, pull chicks. Top one is owning a nightclub. All right, like it's fucking GTA. Yeah, so owning a nightclub or something like that, probably LOL. Like owning a popular spot. Some guys just definitely agree. Apparently his father was a festival party promoter planner. Ideal job for me. Okay. Someone said salesman. It says high commission salesman know the fine art of persuasion. I feel like that's not related to the career though. All these people feel really cunning. They're like, yeah, we're very persuasive. You know, be a salesman. You can persuade people. Troll them like a puppet. Someone said I could tell you it's not electricians. Oh, sorry, electricians. Apparently you're maidenless. So, dude. Oh, shit. I'm coming, loot. Shh. You don't see anything. Yeah, I'm finding it's a little difficult to fight off enemies and read at the same time. Someone also said pilot. So this guy is he's actually stating that a pilot is not the grand slam that we think it is. So apparently women are aware that men use the pilot status to get women, which is like, imagine going to become a pilot or doing any career, and the whole basis of it is just to pull women. If you're a man, healthcare. What does he mean by that? He doesn't elaborate, that's it. Just so weird, man. So odd. Some guys like, yeah, doctor, because you get a lot of power and prestige. It's like, so what are we talking about, man? Someone said bartender. Okay. Someone said I hear accordion is a panty dropper, perhaps that. What? We're 2 for 2 with club promoters. Male Pilates instructor at a private studio. What the fuck? Okay, wait. We struck one. So he says male Pilates instructor in a private studio, likely all female class with you as the only man. So apparently that's the best outcome. Many attractive women and women working on their bodies, hormones and blood pumping from the exercise. After class, there will be likely multiple women that want to bang you. Dude. I didn't know that women just work out and just want to have sex after they work. Like, what the fuck does that even mean? Yeah, you see women out jogging around their neighborhood, like they're you know, that's pre-gaming, really. So apparently this whole Pilates instructor thing is an actual case that unfolded, where like one guy was just apparently banging all the women, and it was like all on security footage. So obviously, you know, by that logic, this guy has deduced that that's the best thing, the best career to get into. Let's get a little axe on the go. Okay, so here's a better one, maybe. So this person says, why am I only attracted to guys who treat me badly? This is a problem I notice a lot of people face, and it's a normal thing. So I've noticed a pattern in myself, and I'm really trying to understand it. I tend to be more attached to men who treat me poorly, guys who are emotionally unavailable, disrespectful, or just generally not good for me. Meanwhile, when someone genuinely kind and caring comes into my life, I struggle to feel that same spark or connection. Even when I'm with someone who treats me well, I find myself missing the one who didn't even bother to stopping me when I walked away. It's frustrating, honestly, a bit confusing. I know I should want someone who treats me right, and part of me does, but emotionally I keep going back to the ones who don't. Is this something others relate to? Is there something deeper going on here that I need to unpack? Yeah, so like I said, problem a lot of people face. A lot of people think like maybe subconsciously or deep down they think, you know, that's what they deserve, is someone like that. They don't really have much like confidence in themselves, so I guess they think they deserve someone who isn't going to treat them good. In this case, they seem like they're questioning why they do it. I don't know if the original poster here, what they think of themselves. Maybe it was something you got attached to. Maybe if like your first couple relationships were like that, maybe you think that's what it's supposed to be like. So obviously, you know, the main issue here is that you don't have that spark with other people, which is okay. You're not gonna have that like flicker for somebody else.
especially if you feel like you're conditioned to people who treat you badly. Like the best advice I could say is eventually you will, like, as long as you stay away, you know, from the real toxic people, eventually you'll find someone who you know, you get that flicker for. And maybe the other people you're around are just too nice. I don't know if that's a possibility. Maybe they're too overwhelmingly nice. You just haven't met someone who's kind of like a middle ground to that. So yeah, it's definitely a hard thing to get out of, but I find if you give it time and search for the right person or someone different, eventually you might realize that, you know, it will never work out with the people who are treating you badly, and they just always will. Oh, Enderman. Sticks. Fence. What you doing in my house, bro? Like the crib? That's good. Okay, this girl, I'm assuming, maybe. This person says, guy I'm dating is talking more to my best friend than me. Ooh. So my best friend introduced me to a guy who was her good friend in a bar. We exchanged numbers. He told me that he thinks I'm really pretty and wants to get to know me. I'd even say that he's become a bit obsessed with me. We went on 2 dates today, and he wanted to meet up with my best friend. So we arranged to go for coffee. Whenever the three of us are together, he looks at her the whole time and almost only talks to her. Just like today, when we went for coffee, sometimes he looked at me and smiled, nothing else. Period. I sat there and then got up and left. I was really embarrassed just sitting there watching, I have to admit. I'm a bit introverted, but I'm good at having a conversation. Should I keep dating him? He even got drunk on the first date because he was nervous. Okay, so what do we unpack here? I'm getting that they're friends originally, and that she introduced him to you. So they were friends before, which I get, that's okay. Like, you know, they might just be like friendly with each other if you guys are talking, you know, at an arranged meeting. I think you said they just went to go get some coffee, the three of them. Yeah, it's funny because, you know, as much as you could try to say like what someone should do, I literally think the best thing in all of these posts is just go talk to them. Hello. Yeah, I actually don't even have much to say to that. I think it's really best for you to just go talk to him, maybe just like voice your concern, and see how he takes that, because he might just clarify, yeah, you know, we're just friends, like it's nothing like that, you know. He might be sorry. I know there's a chance he might get a little defensive. Oh fuck. But I think it would just be best to go speak, just try to talk to him. I do understand that it can be a bit weird that, like, if you guys are dating and he's not speaking to you, like, at all, which is, it is kind of a bit odd in my opinion. You're still here? But yeah, I'd just go speak, like, just sit him down and be like, hey, you know, is there anything like going on between you and my friend maybe, or just voice that like you feel a bit uncomfortable that he's, you know, he's not giving much attention to you when she's around. Yeah, I don't think Reddit would be able to really give you much advice on that. Some of the comments are saying too that if you guys like just started going out, that he might still just be nervous, which you did mention he got drunk on the first date because he was nervous. I'm not sure what that means. Yeah, and it might be that he just finds comfort talking to a friend he's had for a while because you might still be new to him. Yeah, we'll fix this up some more later, but for now I gotta renovate this cow nuke I got outside my house. Okay, this one has quite the eye-catching title. I'm 19 and after sleeping with a prostitute I lost all motivation to date. Is this normal? Well, I don't think it's normal. And I feel like 19 is a little young to sleep with a prostitute, no? So yeah, he says, I'm 19 for the last 6 months. I've been actively trying to find a girlfriend. Dating apps, real life approaches, social events. I really gave it a shot. And I wasn't just sitting around doing nothing. I put effort into conversations, initiated first, was kind, tried to be funny, sent memes, holy shit, this guy's going on. Made plans, gave compliments. I'm pretty slim, and he puts his weight. Clean dressed, tidy, and I'm not awkward. Starting conversations isn't a problem. Okay. Perfect. Yeah, thanks for the weight, by the way. 68 kg. So, but almost every time it's either led nowhere or I ended up feeling like a clown just trying to get basic attention. Ouch. Maybe I just looked in the wrong places. Eventually I got tired, emotionally drained, and felt like I was performing for people who didn't care. Out of frustration, I went to a prostitute. To be honest, it gave me a weird relief. No games, no pressure, no rejection, just straightforward and done. Yeah, okay. There's your issue, I think. Since I've lost all motivation to date, the idea of texting initiating again just feels pointless and exhausting. Like I'm putting myself through all that effort when I could just pay to have peace of mind. He says, I have money, so it's not about affordability. I just don't feel like chasing anymore. I decided to just let be. Let things flow naturally and probably show less initiative myself. Still working on myself, gym, reading, building skills. Where's my cows? But when it comes to dating, I feel like just something inside me switched off. No bitterness, just emptiness. What do you guys think? Okay. Stay in there. Here's what I think. So, yeah, clearly you're just not finding the right people. And it's, you know, you're just having a tough time. Again, like I said with most of these Reddit posts, this almost feels like the goal is a bit misconstrued here. Like, you seem like you only want, you know, it to lead to the bed, which I don't think the goal of trying to be with somebody should be, you know, just to get laid. Which seems like a common theme these people seem to think, where he claims that he feels relieved hiring prostitutes because it's like a one and done. He doesn't have to put in the effort to get what he wants, which what you want should be a connection with somebody. It shouldn't be just, you know, a prostitute doing her job, which is fine if that's, you know, how you see it. But clearly this guy, I think he sees it more like, you know, he's putting all this effort in, but no one wants to, you know, do anything intimate with him, so he just hired a prostitute so that he can have it done. He doesn't need to put any effort, like he said, and apparently he's just been doing this anyways. So, oh boy. Well, thanks for the dirt block, man. That's really nice of you. I think the best thing you could do is realize that you should be, you know, in it for the long term, or you should be aiming for it. Like, you know, like I said, it feels a bit contradicting that you're saying like you put in all this work and you send memes, you're very active in conversation, you're 68 kg, like it's all good stuff, sure, but again, your end goal seems a bit like off point for what you want. Look, if you just want to go hook up with people, that's fine. But when you put yourself in this situation, I think yeah, you know, it's obvious that you're gonna feel a bit empty. He's also 19, like, which is still young. So like, you know, not the end of the world. Like, he has a lot more growing to do, I think. So yeah, I think just change the way you go about, you know, what the goal should be. Like, it should be a connective. You know, find someone you click with and you're like, you enjoy being around. It shouldn't just be like, oh, I'm nice, these women won't come and, you know, touch my ding-a-ling. And I would not be getting into prostitution at all, even this early. So someone actually pointed out what I said, where, you know, you should want to find a connection. And he says, I get that, but I wasn't chasing sex. I wanted something real, mostly tried dating apps, but it felt hopeless, too much competition, and most girls barely put in any effort. So he got exhausted from that, which is a bit weird. Why, if you're exhausted from trying to find a relationship, you'd go and hire a prostitute? Because prostitutes don't, to my knowledge, I've never hired a prostitute, but I'm pretty sure they don't do relationship stuff. You know, they're skipping a couple bases there. They're going right to third. So, like I said, I think he's a bit, you know, maybe a little young. 19's not young, but like, clearly he doesn't have it all sorted out with himself. I think he just needs to tone, you know, his approach on a relationship, and it's not about, you know, the sex. It should be about, you know, about connection. It's a little bit connection there. Someone said try a therapist. Okay. Some guy said he got a On a bone. He got a bone. I don't know if I could say that. You know what I mean? While holding hands on a first date. I'm not gonna read it out, but he did. He pitched a tent when they held hands. So good. Attaboy. I don't fucking know. Here's a thought piece. Someone said, anyone else feel too bad to say no to dong pics? So they say, I know I'm an empath, but I've taken this to a whole nother level. Long story short, guy slid into my DMs almost 2 years ago now, and we talk regularly and meet up every now and then. We haven't had sex, and I don't have feelings for him, but I have grown to like him as a friend-ish, or whatever you want to call it. He's harmless and enjoys our chats, meetups, and flirty and texts and whatnot. One time he asked if I wanted to see it, and curiosity got the better of me, and I said yes. Led to a bit of sexting. Maybe it sounds like something's there, I don't know. Anyways, fast forward, and he asked me if I want to see more pics and vids. This is where my dilemma comes. As if I feel bad to say no. I think I'm here having a good time with the media, but in reality they're just sitting there and gathering metaphorical dust in our camera roll. Jesus Christ. I'm completely okay with saying no if it was a stranger or an unsolicited, but I feel like because I've said yes to him previously, it makes it tricky for me to say no now. How can I navigate this without being rude? I'd just much rather we stick to our usual meetups for some harmless fun. Again, the classic tale of Reddit. Just speak to them. I really think you just sit them down and be like, hey, you know, I was curious at first, maybe you were experimenting a bit, I don't know, looking for some feelings. We're just friends. Just looking for, like, friendly. I like what we got going on as friends. I like meeting up. You know, if maybe we can cut down on the dong pics. I don't really need them. You know, you can tell them they're gathering dust in your camera roll. Sure, you'd appreciate that. Look at this loser up here. Join the view, man. So yeah, again, you can always say no. That's like the best thing about no, is that it can be used anywhere at any time. And usually if you say no to someone, especially in a situation like this, if he kind of lashes out, that's kind of a red flag. Like, I don't know, that's a bit weird, strange behavior. Dude, I can't find any sheep anywhere. I need one sheep so I can breed. Just one. So anyways, yeah, back to the post. Oh, look at that. Yeah, you can just say no and just try to talk to him about it. Like, you know, we're just friends. Maybe you just don't have feelings that way. You don't want any more dingling pics. It's kind of an awkward fix, but a pretty simple one. Up reply says you're leading him on. Technically, yeah. Someone said, they quoted, I'm an empath, and they put a bunch of puke emojis. Jesus Christ. Why on earth would you feel bad about saying no to this creep? This isn't anything to do with being an empath. Sorry to say. Yeah, it is a bit like, I don't think you're an empath in that sense. I don't think empaths will just accept random, like, wiener pics from their friend. The best friend, I don't know what you guys got going on there. But I do get what she's saying. I guess she's just a really, like, she does not want to be rude. Like, she feels bad. I do know people like that, so I can see that. But yeah, like most people are saying, you just kind of gotta say no. It's gonna be awkward. You just talk to him. You just go talk to him. Why is playing Genshin Impact considered a red flag for some people? It's pretty much as the title suggests. They're just questioning why it's considered a red flag. I think it's just anime in general for some people is a bit of a turnoff, or video games in general. And congratulations, that together may turn some people off. You know, if you really like Genshin and stuff, I don't think you should put yourself in a relationship where the other person would hate it so much that it would be an issue. If they do, I wouldn't really, you know, I wouldn't really focus on them too much. And that goes for any interest. If you're interested in literally anything, your partner should also be tolerable of that. Like, that's kind of how you make stuff work. I don't think he doesn't even state or she, I don't know. The person doesn't even state that this is an issue that they're having, or it's just like a thing that has happened and they're kind of confused. They just want to know why people hate Genshin. I think I'll do a few more and then we'll call it there. It's I didn't realize how hard it was to read shit and also like play something as simple as Minecraft. I have no idea where this is gonna lead me out of. Actually, I'm not even sure where I am. Hello world? The hell are we? Now is this I think this is right over. I don't really have a landmark here. I don't know how to describe it, but I'm pretty sure this is like right next to my house. Oh, maybe not. Definitely not. Where's my crib to, bro? I think I lost it. Alright, let's search for another couple. Let's get some good ones now. He dumped me via text and still wants to be friends. I don't know what to do. Okay. So the poster here is 26, female, and the guy she's talking about is 25. So on Friday, I got a long WhatsApp message from him saying that he doesn't see us continuing as a couple and his feelings have changed for me and that I deserve better. After talking some more with him, it seems that he hasn't wanted this relationship to continue for nearly 3 weeks, but he kept it to himself because he was still processing the feelings while trying to make plans, acting like everything was normal. So I told him how hurt I felt that he was doing this via message and not to my face, and that B came out of the blue because he was still talking to me as normal in the time we were making plans and follow-up dates, acting like everything was fine and that it was just him feeling ill. Okay. He apologized and said he never wanted to lead me on or hurt me, and that he should have said much earlier. He said he cares about me and wants to stay friends. He asked me if he wanted to meet this week to discuss things properly, and I gave him a day that will work for me. He hasn't replied or even read it. Don't even understand why he would tell me he cares about me, but then wouldn't break up with me in person. Yeah. I really don't know what to do and I feel very hurt and confused. I still have feelings for him, but I don't feel like he does for me anymore. Well, he made that quite clear, I think. She said, all this is messing with my head. Even a few days ago, he was saying good morning and talking to me as normal, and then drops this out of nowhere. I've never had a partner treat me this way. I don't know what to do. I'm just so upset. Okay. Oh, Jesus. Yeah. So, bit of a cold opener there from him, or a cold closer, I don't know, for him to just kind of, you know, do what he did. I don't understand you still have feelings for him, especially if it happened so sporadic. I don't think that's a bad thing. I mean, yeah, you tried to work things out by arranging a date, or he arranged a date or something, and you gave him a schedule, and apparently he just left you on red. So I'm wondering if maybe the best thing to do, oh Jesus, the best thing to do maybe would be to just let it kind of end there, because I don't know, he clearly cut you off very fast, I think. So he's been out of feelings for a while, or didn't care enough to even properly end the relationship. And even while you're trying to kind of get a reason, he doesn't seem to, he doesn't really seem to value you, I guess, as a person. He's just kind of like, he's done, he's gone. I think he's been already moved on. So I'm wondering, you know, well, he kind of leaves you in the dust. I feel like the best thing I could say is to try not to like get hung up on it too much. Obviously, if he does text you back, I would go out maybe to just see what reason he gives, because it is a bit like crazy that he would just he just wouldn't even mention anything. He's just leaving you on red. Like that's pretty harsh. But I would say not to waste any more time on him. I don't think people can come back around from this, like, especially if they do it this way, where they just kind of like coldly dump you over text, especially. And you have complete reason to be upset. I think anybody would be upset in that situation. You know, everything's going great and all of a sudden it's just gets, you know, left. I don't think it was all for nothing. Like, I'm sure you got a good time out of it for what he had. and I know retroactively that might kind of sour it a little bit. But I find that's the best thing in life is you know, stuff might happen like this, and oh jeez, I find it's best to focus on, you know, the good things that happen during it, because they're still good things, right? Might not fix it, obviously, but you know, it'll just help you kind of be in a better headspace, I think, and know you can move on in the future. As for the friend aspect of it, I almost forgot about that he wants to be friends, though. This is where it's a bit confusing, because he just dumped you but wants to remain friends. I'm not quite sure what his motive is there. And she said actually here in a reply that she does want to be friends with him. She also wants to communicate properly with him instead of him saying he wants to be in contact with me and then not. It's really confusing. Yes, it's clearly, like I said, this guy has no... I don't think he really cares. You know, if he's just this, you know, able to just kind of end things on a whim. Fuck. So maybe you can stick friends with him. I think you would need an update to this. You know, to see where he takes this. Because if you stay friends and it works out, that's great. Because, you know, it's better to be in a friendship than not. The way he ended it was a bit, like, cold. So, I don't know. That's her call. She'd want to stay friends with someone like that. But props to her for wanting to work it out. She wants to communicate properly with him. I don't know if that will happen to the fullest extent. This guy, I don't think this guy even knows what he wants. He seems like a very, like, gunslingy way. He's just kind of, he wants to talk to you one day and then doesn't the other. Begs the question, do you want to stay friends with someone who's just so, like, they just don't seem to care about you? It's up to you, you know. If things do work out and it's all good, I mean, I guess that's good, right? Hello? Oh, Jesus. Chicken doggy! Getting tossed up by a baby. How does this look? I mean, I think it looks kind of fine. I'm gonna lie. That's okay, right? What did I make this trail for? The hell? Oh yeah, and I forgot the roof on it. Yeah, so I used calcite in it too instead of just all wool because, you know, I didn't want to go get all that wool. And it gives it a little bit of texture, sure. How cute, how quaint. I also pictured the blades were gonna be way bigger and I might go change them, but for now, I think that's pretty cool. So yeah, we'll do one more, I think. We'll do one more. Yo. You're joking, bro. What a series of unfortunate events, God. But the creeper is it's your fault if it blows up. Yes, it is my fault. One at a time. Alright, we've recovered. Let's try a different subreddit, a different sandwich. Shit. What a beautiful shot. Look at that. It'd be extra awesome if I could remember how to go in the first person. Aha. I'm here on the seduction Reddit again, and it's like the tags or flares, I think they're called, are so weird. Because it's all people talking about real people, and it's like field report is one of them, and like fundamentals, outer game and inner game. This shit, logistics. What the fuck is this one? Wait, I just found I found a pretty weird one. So the title of this one's just called Instagram, and the tag is conversation. So mid-20s male, pretty much all my dating success came from Instagram. Sadly, Instagram no longer works for me. And then he lists his strategies. This is funny. This was his strategy to pulling women. So he would follow about 1,000 of them and DM all of them. He said about 250 would follow back. Holy shit. Holy fuck. Dude. How do you follow 1,000 people? Like, is this daily, weekly? What are you doing? He said he's been doing this until 2023. So I don't know why he's even posting this 2 years later. He says, now that when I follow 1,000, I'm lucky to get 10 follow backs. Probably because half to, if not more of them, are all bots nowadays. I feel like when a woman doesn't follow you back, it's ultimately a rejection. Sees your profile and thinks you aren't good enough. Well, I can tell you that if someone follows me I don't know, I'm not gonna follow them back. That's me personally. Plus, Instagram is not a dating app. So like, why do you think it's a rejection if she doesn't follow you? Instagram, I thought was just considered like a social media site. I mean, some people don't care about having as many followers as they can. So I would assume if they don't know you, they won't follow you back. I don't think it's ultimately a rejection. It thinks you aren't good enough. So he says, this problem also makes me feel more hopeless when it comes to dating because I feel like I've been basically digitally approached nearly... Wait, what? I feel like I've basically digitally approached nearly every woman in my area, city with maybe 250k people. Okay. This is a wild way I should get a relationship through fucking Instagram. Yeah, like I said, it's not a dating app, so I don't know why that would work, or why you think they're rejecting you, because it's not a dating app. They wouldn't be looking for a relationship. Most of them, I assume. 1,000 people. And he doesn't state when he does this or like how often he does this, but he claimed it worked until 2023, so he did it before then, and he is still actively trying it, but he's just giving a quick report this year that it's not working anymore, which, great to know. You can actually go on Wayfarer and follow accounts, and I think that's the best way to get women, in my opinion, you know. Just follow about 1,000 to 2,000 a day and lowball them. They love lowballs. Even lowball on Wayfarer, I don't think. How would you like to come into this fence post, darling? Come on. Yeah, I know you want to. Come on. Procreate now. Anyway, I think that will do it for today. I'm trying to shoot for a shorter video so I can pump probably more out in a shorter time instead of just spending a lot of time on one. This was fun, I gotta say, especially reading out some of these and just offering advice. I just like chatting, if that wasn't apparent. I like just yapping on. So having something to yap to, like Reddit for example, is pretty good. I got an okay amount of stuff done. I finished off part of the windmill and moved my farm over, went mining a bit, died like twice. Hopefully I won't be 2 months now again until I get my, I can put another video out. Hopefully that was enjoyable. Hopefully it was nice hearing some dating advice and seduction tips that, maybe you'll feel better about yourself or feel worse depending on how you swing. Anyway, here's where I'd usually wave by in front of everything, but I can't remember how to go into third person, and I'm too lazy to search it right now. I'm gonna go make myself something to eat, so I think that about does it. Goodbye.